Fuck Wednesday.
When you're talking about cult movies, the biggest example is the musical horror spoof Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a crazy film, but it's more than that. It's a social phenomenon. It came out in 1975 and is still playing here and there, never truly leaving theaters. It's considered to be the longest-running theatrical film release in history. I like cult movies. I like Plan 9 from Outer Space, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, stuff like that, but this is an entirely different beast. There's sort of a plot, just enough of one to string together all the musical scenes. It's about a newly engaged couple, Janet and Brad, whose car breaks down during a thunderstorm. They arrive at a castle for help. Sounds very typical, but it isn't at all. The castle is full of all kinds of wild characters who are celebrating a convention, and the host is Tim Curry playing a vampire transvestite from transsexual Transylvania who happens to be a scientist and an alien. It makes lots of references to classic horror and sci-fi films, but twists it all in such a weird, chaotic fashion that I lack words to describe it. It's not even a film you're supposed to review. You're just supposed to see it, and in a theater with an audience. The first time I saw it on home video, I didn't get what the big deal was. I knew it was supposed to be the most celebrated cult film ever, but I couldn't see why. The songs were good. I liked the upbeat rock and roll vibe. The meatloaf scene was the highlight for me. I enjoyed all the horror tributes, but overall, it's an insane mess. Then I went to a horror convention one time and caught the traditional midnight screening. People were dressed up like the characters, there were props, everybody shouting out jokes. It was nuts, and I still don't know what to make of it, but one thing is for sure, that's what gives it the cult status it deserves. Let me back up and tell the history. It started as a stage musical in the early 70s before it was adapted into the film, but the film is what gave it its popularity. It was critically panned when it first came out. That makes sense because the definition of cult film is a film that the mainstream does not like, but the underground, the true fans, love it. After a while, the film started playing in a limited run at midnight, which always became the tradition after that, and then people were showing up again and again and began wearing costumes and acting out the film in front of the film. The whole audience participation aspect of it has turned into a standard. There's certain quotes that you're supposed to shout out at certain times, and there's even books that lay it all out as a guide. When the Time Warp song is going on, everybody stands. It doesn't matter if you came there just to watch. Somebody's going to pick you up out of your seat. The movie became less of a movie and more of a live performance with the movie as the backdrop. It started on the stage, went to the screen, and now it's like a mixed media production. I still don't quite get it, but I respect what it's done. It truly is a cult phenomenon.